to Gaudreau. The chuck back to Gaudreau. Gaudreau dangles. Gaudreau out in front. Lindholm shoots. Save Ottinger. The rebound to Gaudreau. He shoots. And scores! It's over!
For the 46th time in NHL history, in Game 7, we'll head to overtime. Here's Fox. Panarin, right wing circle. Shoots. He scores!
Oh, what a weekend. Game 7s all around in the NHL. The home team winning all of them. Game 7s in the association were incredibly boring, disappointing bullshit. Let's get to it. This is interesting to see. Your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, and gambling highlights courtesy of ESPN and the NHL on TBS. Game 7s in the NHL were epic this weekend, so I believe if we start on Game 7s, the first one was Saturday afternoon. Carolina Hurricanes take care of the Boston Bruins, and then the only road win in Game 7 was the Tampa Bay Lightning. They went on the road in Toronto. Toronto now 20 consecutive years without winning a first-round playoff series. They led this series 3-2. They led last year at 1.3-1. They just can't do it. They've led 3-1 before. They led 3-1 in a game one time in Game 7. They just can't. Or they led 4-1. Toronto can't win. The Lightning also have this amazing stat, and I think I've talked about this, but let's get into the streak. Since 2020, the Tampa Bay Lightning have not lost 2 games in a row in the playoffs. 17-0 in coming off a loss, and it's mostly due to the goaltender, Andrei Vasilevsky, who's starting to get in the conversation of, like, in the Space Jam hockey team, if aliens came down and you get everybody in their prime throughout the history of the game, Andrei Vasilevsky might be your starting goaltender. In games that you have to have, he is absurdity. To go into Toronto and hold them to 1 goal, crazy. Then Carolina, they dummied Boston. Boston never scored more than 2 goals on the road in Carolina. The home team wins every single game in the Boston-Carolina series. Fast forward to Sunday, just quick hockey updates. The Rangers win in overtime. Sidney Crosby missed 2 games in that series, 2.5 games in that series. The Rangers won all of that. Then the Rangers won in Game 7 when Crosby came back. He looked okay. Not the same thing, though. The Flames win in overtime against Dallas, and we didn't play the Oilers, but the Oilers also win against the Kings. So 2 overtime Game 7s, which is epic. Home team won them both. Canada very much still alive. Oilers and Flames advance. Plenty of time for Canada to hoist Lord Stanley's trophy. Let's move on to the association, where it was just so fucking boring. It was cool if you were a fan of one of the 2 teams. It's always more fun when the crowd is into it at home. My God. The first thing that happened was Grant Williams, and you might remember Grant Williams not from his NBA career, but from being the best player in the SEC for a couple of years in Tennessee. Goes to Boston. He's known for his defense. The Bucks made a conscious choice to leave him wide open, because someone's going to get shots in the NBA. The players are too athletic. Someone's going to shoot the basketball. They decided to leave Grant Williams wide open. He attempted like 18 threes. He made 7. It was a record. He's never led the team in scoring throughout his entire career, and he finally led the team in scoring. It'll always be known as the Grant Williams game. And the Bucks, without their second-best player, Chris Middleton, they just couldn't do anything. But the conclusion I came to in this series is that Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best basketball player on the planet, and when he missed some layups and things, but holy crap, he's good. He is just so good. It really is remarkable how good he is. So the Miami Heat, Boston Celtics going to throw down in the Eastern Conference Finals. If we move over to the Western Conference, the Warriors got through over the weekend, or maybe Friday. They advance. I forget. It was a while ago. And Game 7 in Phoenix was just it was kind of crazy. I guess they ran out of gas, the Phoenix Suns. Something happened. At one point, I think the biggest lead was 48. I could be wrong. I think the biggest lead for the Mavs was 48 points. At halftime, the Suns had scored 27 points. The best player for the Mavericks had scored 27 points. It was Luka Doncic 27, Phoenix Suns 27. At halftime, Chris Paul had 1 point, which is worse than having 0 points in my brain. The Phoenix Suns, a professional basketball organization, scored 10 points in a quarter. They scored 40 in the fourth, but they only outscored the Mavs by 9. It's dropping 40 and a quarter to make it look respectable. If they scored a normal quarter in 30, it would have been 123 to 80. I think I'm just trying to do the quick math right here. I've got 50 heading into the fourth quarter. This math is going to be tough. 65 plus 27 is 92. It was 92 to 50. It was 92 to 50 heading into the fourth. Texting my dad, like, who do you like in this game? Like, in basketball, I always bet on the best player. When it comes down to a game 7 or whatever, got to have it. Always bet on the team with the best player. At the time. Now, I'd bet on Giannis yesterday against the Celtics. I bet on him the entire playoffs last year when they won. He's the best player. In this series, the best player is Luka Doncic. It's not that he was playing the best or best player on the court. Like, no, he is the best player. Best players figure it out. The Suns on the other side of this, they just couldn't do it. Leading scorers for the Suns was Cam Johnson with 12 points, Chris Paul with 10, and Devin Booker with 11. Nope, just kidding. Someone called Ishmael Wainwright had 10 points. So they emptied the bench that early. Rumors, at least on Pistons Twitter, is that Devin Booker, a native Michigander, is going to head home to Michigan. I don't think that would be complete stupidity by the Suns to even allow, to entertain that possibility. That would be tomfoolery, and there's 0% chance that that can be possible in any way at all. Why would they let him go? And you can't just go trade him. You have to trade away your entire franchise to get one of the best players in the NBA. You have to trade like 9 first-round picks or whatever is whatever's legally allowed to do. You would have to do it. So I don't think there's any chance in hell that happens. All right, let's look at some props for round 3 of the NBA, the conference finals. Game 1, the Miami Heat are favored by 1.5. That's in Miami. People forget they're the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They are now the number 1 overall remaining seed in the playoffs. People forget that. This seems like a Golden State is just going to cruise through the rest of these opponents here. Golden State 5.5-point favorites in game number 1 against Dallas. Luka looking pretty chonky, and when you're a chonk monster, you really get tired. I would know. I had brownies yesterday with Sunday dinner. I'm feeling pretty chonky myself. The Celtics are favored in the series, though. Not a lot of juice on that. Slight favorites in the series. In the Western Conference, we don't have an outright favorite because it's just too much juice for the Warriors. That's how heavily favored they are. In the NBA Finals, all 4 teams, the betting favorite are the Golden State Warriors. Heat are plus 420. Ooh, I think sprinkling on the Heat might not be a bad idea here. Plus 420, I kind of like that. It's good. I'm going to have to call the bookie after this. Let's go to the National Hockey League for round 2 of the playoffs. It looks like the Panthers are flavors. So these are their matchups right now. All right, so we've got an all-Florida series. We've got an all-Canada series. So you have Florida Panthers playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Tampa Bay, of course, is the back-to-back defending Stanley Cup champions. Florida Panthers, the best team in the NHL in the regular season. And we have the all-Canada series, which is the Battle of Alberta. Which is so annoying because that means they're going to eliminate each other, and that's just too funny. Calgary and Edmonton, it looks like the Flames are the favorite in that series. Colorado's playing St. Louis. This is tough for Colorado because St. Louis is the scrappy upstart team. Well, they're not upstarts. They're wily veterans, man. That might be the team that pisses off Colorado and just makes history, which is hilarious. Carolina, slight favorites over the Rangers. I don't think that series is really relevant. Let's check in if any of the first-round stuff moved odds. Colorado's still the heavy favorite, but the Florida Panthers have moved into second place, which is really interesting. Really interesting there. The long shots are the Oilers, the Rangers, and the Blues. Flames plus 550. Panthers the Hurricanes plus 600. Tampa plus 650 would be a good bet. Plus 650 is pretty good. They're the back-to-back defending Stanley Cup champions. They're the best goalie and the best defenseman and the second best defenseman remaining in the playoffs. Yeah, you'd have to think about that. Let's go to the wide world of sports to catch up on some stuff. Interesting things over the weekend. The Cincinnati Reds, who are atrocious, lost a ball game to the Pittsburgh Pirates without Pittsburgh Pirates registering a hit. It was a communal no-hitter. The Pirates did not get a hit, but it wasn't a technical no-hitter because there was no ninth inning because the Pirates were leading. The Pirates won without getting a hit. I forget how many times it's happened. It's happened a few times, like 10 or, I don't know, like 9, somewhere in there. Like borderline single digits, I think. I forget. Somewhere in there. The Reds had 4 hits, but they had errors. There was a double play that wasn't turned, and it allowed a run to score. So that makes it a fielder's choice, and therefore not a hit. Which baseball is silly like that. The Reds are now, the Reds have won some games since the last time we checked in. They're 9-25. The Pirates are 4-19. So just a battle of teams that love to try to win. No, losing when you hit the other team. Like, how, if you're a pitcher, you look at your team and be like, guys, how do you get paid? Like, how is it possible that people owe you money? That should absolutely not be possible to be owed money when your pitching staff no hits the other team. That's just me. NFL minicamps are going on. Nothing interesting happening in NFL minicamps. People are going to try to tell you, like, this. I saw this guy working out at center. No one cares. Please stop. No one cares. It's just we can't care about NFL minicamp. There's other stuff going on right now. Minicamp should happen when there's nothing else going on right now, and they should offer us exclusive access because everyone would eat up anything. I'd like to give a shout-out to the Spin Zone of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I'll get you out of here on this. The Maple Leafs lost in the first round again, like we said, 20 consecutive years. However, their head coach said it was all worth it. He did not say it was all worth it, but he did say the following thing. Sheldon Keefe, the head coach, quote, "We got a lot of respect in the handshake line from their team. It was a much different tone of respect on the other side from what we've experienced previously. We're earning respect in the league, but we're not in the respect game. Nope, we're in the winning game. They lost in the first round again, but they got more respect in the handshake line this time. Baby steps." That's going to do it. Back and better than ever tomorrow.